and welcome to Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 4 recap of The Last of the Starks. And so I kind of want to just open this up. Do we have any initial reactions to the episode? Liz and I were kind of talking a bit about the weird kind of abruptness of the whole episode.
Yeah, I thought this was a mess. I really did. I thought it was...
In what way?
Well, I was saying to Shane, part of it was just they did too much in an hour and 20 minutes. I don't understand what the point of having 6 episodes. This would have been, the first half I think would have been a wonderful episode all by itself. Let us process a lot of what was going on with the characters. And then some of what they were setting up would have made more sense.
They had a lot to flesh out.
Yeah.
And they didn't take the time to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of, and especially what Sansa was saying when she was like, oh, the soldiers need to rest. And Dany was like, no, let's go.
Right.
And, which I get it in the sense that she's tired at this point. She needs it to just end. And she did her part in the Great War, and she just wants to continue.
Well, and Cersei's down there doing more and more preparation. I mean, it was all, but I just felt that, you know, you still need to properly cue up the viewer, and then I felt it was just something.
I actually like the pace, because at this point I'm like, Dany, let's just get it over with.
I know, and she's finally there at this point. She's sick of
that may have been what they felt too.
Well, I mean, me as a viewer, not necessarily like, I think Dany's an idiot still. Sorry for, I know I'm not a big fan of Dany still, and I know Shane is, so all respect to Shane, but I mean, as a viewer, I'm like, alright, let's just get this over with. I'm like, we killed the Night King. But that was my initial reaction was, because I read a lot last week where people were like, why would they do that? Should have been like the big plot. No. Now that we've seen Cersei in action, it's like, oh no, the Night King is a child's game compared to Cersei. Like, she's still.
And they've built this up through the whole season.
Oh,
and it's
the whole series.
It's the whole series, that's what I meant. And the show is called The Game of Thrones. This is about the political aspect.
Right.
It's never been, it's been about the White Walkers, but it's never truly been about.
No, it's about getting that throne, and that the whole Night King, all that. It was just a plot device, I think, to get Dany and Jon together, everybody together against Cersei.
But the crazy thing is that it's been about getting Jon and Dany together, but again, the whole abruptness of it, their relationship lasted for a second, and then this blew up. I mean, his whole lineage, the truth. I mean, it seemed very short-lived.
Well, the other thing is, I feel it's abrupt. I mean, there's always been a bit of maybe she's crazy with Dany, but she always had, you know, her drive and her redeeming, you know, vision to free the slaves.
And now she wants to be the Mad Queen and burn them all.
But she's been put into this corner though, and you know she's gone through this whole series doing good and thinking of the good of the people. And people are starting to call her the Mad Queen, but you look at Cersei, and Cersei has blown up people. She's done.
Cersei is the Mad Queen. We all understand what Cersei is, but Dany's talking about, like, I'm gonna rid the world of tyrants at what cost? Well, at the cost of you becoming one too, or, you know, I mean, I'm sorry, but she wants to go in there and blow up fire on all these innocent people.
What alternative does she have?
But I feel, I mean, as I said, I'm not a fan of this episode, but I feel like for the last few episodes they've been sowing the seeds of doubt, you know, is she a little crazy, or her advisor's going to be able to rein her in or stand by her. And I'm sort of annoyed because everyone's got their flaws. Nobody's perfect. So now I'm like, well, we need to be saved from her too.
Right.
And, I mean, Jon, they've built him up to be like this
savior.
and
he's not.
Frankly, he's an idiot.
He is.
His whole conversation with Dany
He's just not the brightest.
He's naive.
No, well,
and
he is
she
naive.
was like, if you tell people, this is going to spiral out of
This is-
control. That's
Yes.
exactly what happened.
And this is, well, that's where honesty comes to, like, you know, you can withhold the truth. You don't need to be like, I'm so honest that I have to tell everybody everything. It's like, no, keep it to yourself.
That's
What difference?
been a
has-
problem before.
Right. I mean, they've definitely showed that as one of his character flaws.
Yeah.
That he's honest to a fault.
Yeah.
Tyrion faulted him last year in the Dragon Pit when he had to tell everyone that he was, you know, he bowed the knee.
Yeah.
That was one of the things Tyrion said. Couldn't you have lied to me? So that's, you know, that's consistent, but it's not a very good trait for
Yeah.
someone on the Iron Throne.
No, and if
No.
he ends up on the Iron Throne,
Sansa
I
should be on the Iron Throne.
Except now she set herself up to be Jon's enemy.
And yeah, and she also doesn't want to leave the North.
No, she doesn't.
She's done with King's Landing.
Well, maybe King's
she-
Landing is just gonna
she
crumble.
belongs-
It
Or
could.
it's gonna be.
King's Landing could go away.
Right. So
Very
alright,
easily.
so who's the last Stark? That was the title of
The last of the Starks.
the last
Yeah.
of the Starks. I wonder if we're supposed to.
Well, Arya did say that, or when they were having that
She's
conversation,
not coming back.
she does, which was pretty ominous. She and the Hound both said that going down. I mean, we have Clegane Bowl coming up, so the Hound probably doesn't think he'll make it out of that alive.
No.
He and the Mountain could both go down together. Arya,
Arya
who
still
knows
wants
what
to kill
she has
Cersei.
planned, but
She still wants to kill Cersei.
well,
Oh,
she
yeah.
does.
Yeah, she's still
but-
pissed.
But she won't though, because they gave her the Night King. They're not going to give
Yeah.
her Cersei.
But I mean, that's her
But
intention.
that's
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
They
that is her
still-
intention.
They may, as I said, I'm really concerned these last 3 episodes are just going to sort of be a mess. They still haven't used her faceless talents.
They
So
haven't.
last week we got her assassin talents when she got the Night King. But she's heading down to, you know, King's Landing with all those faces in her bag. People don't know Peter Baelish is dead.
But what some people have pointed out, the very last scene of this episode, they really made a point to focus in on Dany and Cersei's eyes.
Oh yeah.
They both have green eyes,
Yeah.
and it's in
The
prophecy or what Melisandre said that Arya is to close or shut the
brown
eyes,
eyes,
of green eyes.
and blue. Unless
So-
she's already killed the brown eyes with the phrase.
The phrase, she killed the blue eyes.
King.
It could be Dany. Arya could take down Dany. She could use the base. I don't know. She could be Tyrion, or if Tyrion dies, which
Right.
is likely.
Yeah.
There's
I
any
thought
number
she
of possibilities.
Alright, let's talk about Tyrion then. I thought he was gonna die last night.
I thought he was getting an arrow through the head at the end there.
Oh.
I thought after Missandei went down,
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna cut to him.
I thought Cersei was gonna be like,
gonna let go.
and kill him too,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, that would be very Games of Thrones, you know.
Yeah. Oh my god, my
Typical.
heart. I was like, why is she keeping him alive
I
though?
agree. It seems sort of
He was
Yeah.
well open, nothing to protect him, nothing to save
That
him.
again, that whole thing is foolish. They never should have talked to her. You know, again, this was kind of Tyrion having this plan that fell through.
Well, Dany did agree that we should talk to her at least so that the people can see that when it rains down on them that it was, you know, Cersei. who-
Yeah.
I actually, I don't think it was a stupid plan. Was he suicidal? I think that's a good question.
Yeah.
Was he just sort of
Yeah.
like, okay,
Like,
I
if
can't do anything else.
he did say to Varys, he was like, you know, it might just be easier if Cersei kills all of us and we just lose, which was morbid, but you know,
But true.
it'll save them a lot of problems with.
I mean, he
It's
thought they were all gonna
true.
die with the Night King, so now he's like, okay, well, we're still here, we still have to do this,
I mean,
Cersei.
I do think the big picture is not who gets into the throne next, but the
But just
destruction of the
Cersei.
throne. Oh no! I think yes, Cersei is ultimately
She's still the best,
going
though.
to be. She's going to be best villain.
She's
Yeah,
one of the
she's
greatest.
she's the best
characters.
character on the show.
She's-
But I mean, I don't see this with Jon, stupid, honest to Jon on the throne. I see this as someone coming in and saying, no more kings.
An entire dismantling system. Yeah. Which I wouldn't be surprised at this point. You know,
Yeah.
nothing has gone Everything's
What
gone
about
horribly.
Varys though? Could he? I mean,
The realm, because it's clear, you know, you can see him looking really unhappy at that feast where he can already see machinations starting again, that they've killed the night king, and now everything is just back to the same old, you know, like deadly politics where everything's,
right.
you know,
And that's why he's hesitant with Dany, because she's willing to just go in and kill all these innocent people, and he's the one that said, you know, I'm there to protect the realm and the people. These are real people. And he's talking to Tyrion.
Yeah, and it seemed like he had a plan to take down Dany at the end there. His last conversation with Tyrion, it seemed pretty threatening.
Oh yeah, definitely did.
So, you know, and everything he's done up at this point, kind of expect that what he has planned will potentially come to fruition.
Yeah, I mean, he's formidable. He's and he always in the past has always had a plan.
Yeah.
But it just, we haven't really, the episode as a whole, what did you think?
Like you said
No for
before,
you.
right? A lot of it was fast.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder why they only cut this down to 6 episodes.
Right.
When, frankly, they could have an entire another season. Whether it's budgeting constraints or what, I can't imagine that's it.
Or they're just
I mean, this is one of the biggest shows of the decade. So
Well,
they could be tired of it. And they're going off no books now. So they have really, they're coming up with this whole storyline on their own. I mean, George R. R. Martin gave them the bare bones of the structure, but they've come out and said, I think, that Arya was never intended to kill the Night King in Martin's books.
I didn't think there was even a Night King.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, there wasn't even.
They made that up for the show.
Yeah. So you know, they've taken a lot of artistic freedoms in this, and
right, yeah, it just feels like everything's spiraling out of control right now.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, what's Dany gonna do? She was walking right back to this guy, and was she just about to jump on her dragon right then and there and you know, rain fire down on Cersei in that last scene?
I mean, Missandei gave her the word, her last word. Dracarys, she's ready. Next episode is not going to be pretty.
But they've been busy building those anti-aircraft.
The Scorpions? Yeah.
So, can we talk about Jaime?
Did he dismantle his entire character arc at that point? What he did to Brienne?
I actually felt sorry for the actor. He's such a good
Yeah.
actor. And to me, this is when I said this episode was not a win for me. I started, you know, I was watching that, and of course I was like, Brienne doesn't have her armor on. She's just run out of the castle. I felt bad for the actor. And to me, if I'm watching a scene and I'm aware, like, wow, this must have been really hard for the actor, that's not
believable.
Yeah, it's not well written. But I mean, and I was like, wow, he's pulling this off when he's telling him what a bad person he is. But so to me, no, I mean, it didn't work. He came and he fought the army of the dead, and he connected with Brienne.
I don't know. I think it did because of this. Because I was reading this too, that he's such a loyal person, and he's always been loyal to Cersei. But he did make his commitment to go help fight against the dead, and he fulfilled that. And then when he was there, you know, obviously he had a connection with Brienne, whatever. But when he finds out, oh no, they're just gonna go storm right into Cersei now, then he's like, you know, I've been loyal to her. I fulfilled my duty to the north up here and to the living, and now I've got to get back to Cersei. And maybe just thinking like, oh, her death could be real.
Well, what Sansa had said to him was, your sister's going to die, essentially.
Yeah.
But that had been, this is not news though.
Right.
It had been building up to this all along. They'd had the war council, and he'd still decided to stay with Brienne. So the only way that scene had any credibility at all to me was if he was being really harsh with Brienne because it was the only way he could like push her aside to leave, because he's going to go kill Cersei. But still, I still had so much trouble buying the scene.
But we don't know if he actually did leave because he's in love with Cersei.
it could be because.
And he doesn't want Brienne to come with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case because Jamie. But
Wait,
and
you don't want?
I hope that's the case. I hope that he pushed Brienne away because he wants to go kill Cersei
Okay,
and didn't want her to follow.
Yes.
And that would be a Game of Thrones twist right there, because now the audience is thinking, "Oh, Jamie, like, what are you doing?" But then if he goes and he kills Cersei, it's not as predictable as if it were just him being like, "I gotta
Well,
go
it
kill
was
her."
in the prophecy.
Which is interesting because they didn't mention that part of the prophecy in the show. So
No, they haven't. So in the book.
They didn't mention it in that flashback?
no, they didn't mention that her brother was supposed to kill her. They do in the book, but not
And
in
where
the
did
show.
I learn it?
Probably because we've talked about
Yeah.
it. I think because it is said in the book that people assume that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
they've done things that didn't happen in the book.
Right.
So-
I mean, you can't. They love to have prophecies that people misinterpret.
Yeah.
I mean, Melisandre was the worst interpreter of prophecy.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, she's a good track record.
Yeah. So I think that definitely. It could be twisted, and because they haven't played that up at all in the show, maybe it could be a plot twist, but it could just be irrelevant. I mean, you
Yeah.
could just take that scene at face value that when he realizes what's really happening at King's Landing, he just can't keep himself away.
Yeah.
Or it could be that he figures he's going to kill her.
Well, if he goes back to her, then he will definitely be the most tragic character of all.
Yeah, that would. Anyway, let's take a minute and say goodbye to Rhaegal. I think that was
There's only one of us left.
one of the most shocking losses of the episode. And was kind of hoping he would come back. Liz and I were saying this,
Yes.
but once he got the arrow through the neck, it was a done deal.
Yeah.
It was tragic. So Dany's really in a corner now. She only has one dragon.
And they're very vulnerable.
Extremely vulnerable, as we've seen. I mean,
She almost lost Drogon too. She was flying right, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I know. I was afraid she wasn't going to make it out of that, but
Mhm.
that wouldn't have been a good enough death for her.
No.
I mean, that.
No.
But yeah. So
Well, can you imagine if she loses Drogon? Then we're done.
I mean, she's going in to storm them. They have. I mean, we saw how many contraptions they have at this point.
And they're probably furiously building more. And
Yeah, exactly. So
now that they know how to do it and they know that they work.
right, it seems bad for Dany right now.
Yes. Oh yeah.
It's sort of the equivalent of killing the Night King. They kill her dragons, and that's really. I mean, she could go in and burn the city and walk out of it. But I mean, I'm wondering what are the, because we've seen her in situations before without her dragons where she's still prevailed. But
I mean,
realistically, what is she going to do?
Cersei has a plan to center everything into the Red Keep. That's where she has everyone. That's where she's going to be
the
hiding
human
out.
Shield, yeah.
So I mean, she has all of this ammunition. They could easily take down that dragon by trapping her there.
Here's the thing: is Dany was able to win the love of so many people so early on because she was, freeing them. But then you see her up north; they don't like her, and they're loyal.
Nobody in Westeros is like
yeah.
that.
So what's she gonna do when if she burns down and she kills a whole bunch of people in King's Landing? The remaining people, are they gonna like her? No, not at all.
No, they already don't. I mean, when she executed the Charlies, they were gossiping about that at the Citadel last season. It's clear that she has no idea how to win the hearts.
No.
Of people most dead.
Should she have ever left Essos?
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to. I mean, she could have done a fantastic job ruling over there.
Yeah.
She was doing amazing things over there. Kind of makes you sad.
It does make me sad. She's
she
not
had
even the
all
rightful heir either.
I know. So again, the whole character arc just really kind of spiraling down at this point.
Yeah, but I was very sad that we're not going to get any more dragon dancing. And, I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it wasn't,
John's ride is over.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
abrupt. You know, they built that up, and all of a sudden he's
yeah,
dragonless.
it's like, well, he
so
has his own dragon. What's he gonna, I was hoping for, and he
Yeah.
gave away Ghost, the dog.
that
I mean,
was.
the direwolf.
He didn't even say goodbye to him.
No.
That was
Yeah, and like
stupid.
honestly, Ghost probably could have done something else, John. You know, you don't know his role. He should stick around. See what he has up his sleeve.
Again, it was probably they just didn't want to pay for the
CGI,
CGI of
yeah.
Ghost. They were.
So do you think we'll ever see Tormund again?
I don't think
That seems
so.
like a real farewell.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a role to play.
Well, he could go put
That's true,
Brienne's
what,
heart back and, you know,
Yeah, they're not bringing.
back together. I was still hoping they'd end up together.
They're not bringing the Wildlings down to King's Landing.
No. And Sam and Gilly, are they done too? That also seemed a bit
Yeah.
final.
And I didn't see the Meister. I would have thought they would have had the Meister in the crypt, but I was wondering, is Sam going to be the Meister at Winterfell now? That was a little unclear what happened.
Right. Because they didn't really say if they were going anywhere, or I don't think.
Yeah, so that was unclear.
Just that Gilly is pregnant again.
Which I had wondered. She had,
I wonder if the actress is pregnant in real life. That's what I think.
Yeah, but I
This is
had
pretty good.
noticed that she was always like super swamped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. What other character development plots did we have in this? I think again it was a lot of Tyrion and Varys interesting conversations,
Oh, yeah, that was-
which were a little repetitive,
Mhm.
as we said, but they kind of sowed the seeds for treason.
Yeah, I mean Tyrion
Was-
made it very clear we're discussing treason right now.
But he'd also, I mean, he could have kept it to himself. He could have kept it. Although Sansa knew he wouldn't. It's
But I think
entirely-
that did Sansa actually tell him or did Bran tell him? Did he already know? Did Tyrion? Because
I don't think
Sansa,
so.
but I don't know if Sansa. Oh, so I know a lot of things happen off screen here because we've been dealing with that a lot. Like Dany and John's conversation, for instance, when she's like, he goes, "I told you I didn't want the throne." We missed that conversation. We never got to see that on screen, right?
Tyrion did seem pretty shocked though when he learned of the actual truth of Robert's rebellion.
Yeah, and I have a feeling, I mean, Bran is very brief in everything they've had him say, and he answers questions. And Tyrion had said he was interested to learn about his journey. So, I mean, has Tyrion learned a lot that no one else has bothered to ask? No question. But I think we were definitely meant
To have Sansa.
Yeah.
I just can't see. I mean, well, I don't think Sansa's actually necessarily betraying John by telling Tyrion. I think she's like, listen, this is bigger than my like secrecy, you know, my oath to you. This is more than that, especially since she thinks Dany's is going to be a mistake for a ruler. So I think she's looking at it as like, sorry, John, but this is just news that you can't, you know, think.
Which is what Dany said would happen. Dany knew that.
Yeah, Dany
Yeah.
knew that.
And
John was
but-
being incredibly naive.
But Dany too is like the reason she's, you know, freaking out is because she wants that throne. I mean, like that's it.
That's the
That's
thing.
endgame, and that's been
yes,
endgame for
yes,
her
because
since season one.
Danny could instead be saying, "This is wonderful. I'm not the last Targaryen. We're engaged." You know,
Yeah.
there's no. Danny could play it like that, and everyone would be happy. So the fact that it's going to blow up is Danny's own making. That's
Right.
a really poor decision, I think, that Danny.
Right, because she's letting the power get to her head.
Yes, which might be that would be one of the reasons Varys. If I were Varys, that's a really legitimate reason, you know, for looking at her and saying this woman is not.
Well, like you
stable
said,
enough."
every tyrann I've ever, you know, served has said destiny. Talked
Yeah.
about destiny.
Yeah, because it's Danny's decision, which John has tried to abide by, to keep it secret, and it's because she doesn't want
She doesn't want
anyone to
anyone-
question her legitimacy.
Yeah, she's gonna pretend that she's still the rightful heir, that John, you know.
But I mean, that ultimately she has to kill John.
Is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
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 Especially now that everyone knows. There's
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
She's killing her own nephew.
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of death.
So let me ask you one thing. When John was kissing Danny, they kind of abruptly stopped. Was it because he thought in his head, "Oh no, this is my aunt," or was it because of just the elephant in the room that he's supposed to be the heir? Do you think a little bit had to do with the fact, like, "Oh no, she's my aunt"?
I think he means it when he says he doesn't want to rule. I don't think he wants the iron. Is that where you were?
No. I'm asking why he abruptly just stopped kissing her. Was it because it was like, "Oh gosh, she's my aunt"?
I think that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely
A little
having
skeeved.
problems.
Oh, classic.
And they did mention in, I forget who was talking about it. I think it was Tyrion and Varys when they were saying about, or Tyrion was saying that a marriage would be a good idea, and Varys was like, no, the North does not accept that, wouldn't accept the nephew thing.
Well, because Jaime and Cersei had so long had to hide.
Right.
They didn't want nobody could ever know. And then when they came out, they were sick. They were sick and twisted, and Cersei had to walk through the streets. Shame.
Right.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of psychological things happening here with that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how that's going to play out in the next episode. This is said, Emilia Clarke has come out to say that episode 5 is going to be the biggest one of the season.
I can see it.
So
my adrenaline's still going from last night. That last 10 minutes, I don't think I've ever been more nervous at an episode of Game of Thrones than I was in that last 10 minutes. I don't know why.
I don't know if I was looking into this too much. I thought it was interesting the kind of callback to Ned Stark's death with the execution of this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there was a lot of that.
Well, they're still using brutal, here I'm just gonna behead you. I mean, obviously, no one's really evolved from the torture that they impart in Game of Thrones.
Right, they're still, Cersei still has her
mountain.
So, do we have any expectations for the next episode we think might go down? We've talked a bit about character deaths.
Well, I mean the fact that, so the Hound and Arya are definitely going to play some kind of wild card role. I mean, I don't know. It feels like they've already played the surprise Arya card, but it's still clear there's going to be something going on
Right.
there. It's going to be another epic battle. I don't know if I'm up for it.
Right.
And it's hard to see how they don't not kill Cersei.
Right.
Yeah, but who else is going to?
I don't think she's dying next episode.
It's really interesting to me that everyone's so convinced that Cersei is going to lose.
I don't think
I mean,
Maybe not.
at this point, her army
She's
trumps Dany's.
right, except remember when Dany arrived, it looked like Cersei couldn't win, and then they flipped. Remember how Dany arrived with 3 dragons and a Dothraki, and it looked so, Cersei just just pack up your marbles and go home like that. And now it looks the opposite. So it would be very Game of Thrones.
But
Flip it.
that was what made Game of Thrones great. Let's make Game of Thrones great again. That's what made Game of Thrones great. When it first came out, it was like, you don't get what you want. You don't get that happy. I mean, remember Ned Stark's death, the Red Wedding. You don't get to have a say in what you want to happen. And all of a sudden, it's kind of seemed like it shifted. Maybe it's because the writers of the show have taken over away from there was no more books. But that, we're getting, we're not, here's real life. History isn't, written by the people that want it to be written a certain way. We don't get to always have our happy ending as far as history is concerned. So, I mean, wouldn't it be so Game of Thrones to actually be like, no, this is how it ended. This was just the history of Westeros, and this is how it ended with, you know, Cersei winning and all the people we love dying. I mean, that might be a little extreme, but.
And they defeated the army. I mean, it's sort of, in a way, I feel like Jon's character arc really ended. I mean, his whole purpose, just like Dany's was to get the Iron Throne, Jon's whole purpose has been to defeat the Night King. So the Night King is gone. So, and Jon doesn't want the throne. And now he's really conflicted about the woman he's in love with.
It's just boring.
So
he's boring.
I mean, it's not his fault.
He is boring.
Yeah,
and
really.
I've said it before. He's kind of an idiot.
No, yeah.
He's
he's like they've made clear that he's not the sharpest.
No.
But no, I think the best outcome would be Game of Thrones being like, there is no more throne. That was the Game of Thrones. You all ruined it. No more throne.
But
you know.
I mean, the only one left who would do that would be Jon.
No, I mean Tyrion, Viserys, they might want to start a democracy, you know?
Sansa's very adamant, I think,
Sansa.
about independence in the north.
Right, I
and
think Sansa.
she would be okay with.
She's definitely someone who is comfortable wielding power.
I don't know if she's on a power trip like I want to be queen power trip, more of like I want to be president of the United States power trip, you know?
Right, I mean, Jon was an elected king, so her arc has been really weird, and I don't know if anyone, when she had her little conversation with the Hound, where he was like, you should have come with me, and she was like, I don't know, and I was really bothered by it.
I was too.
Why?
Because she was basically saying the only reason she changed was because she went through this awful
Yes,
stuff.
well, she had the most brutalizing, traumatic arc, and she's saying, oh, it's okay, that's,
I'm with
and I
her.
just-
No, I totally get it. That she's like, I needed these things to happen to grow up, and it's important that I did grow up in this
But
world.
people
Yeah,
grow
yeah,
up
yeah.
not going through
I-
those terrible
yeah.
experiences.
I mean, she had matured a lot in King's Landing. I mean, this is just me, but again, I guess this is why I wasn't a fan of this episode. I was like a neighbor of those ones.
But maybe she was saying.
I just reacted strongly.
Maybe she was saying.
Yeah. I mean, the creators are all men in this show. They're writing these lines. They're writing these characters.
I don't know,
And
but
he
maybe
tried to save her from real
Right.
brutality, and I just thought it was a nice moment because he's such a gruff but good character.
Yeah.
And she could have just said, she could have just touched his hand and thanked him, and we would have gotten.
Well, maybe that
this
was her
much
way
out
of
it.
making him feel better. Was that she's like, I've come to terms with this. I accept it.
Maybe.
It's made me who I am. That's how I saw it.
Differently. I guess it's just, I don't know.
But I did like when he went, well, when she said, you know, I killed Ramsay with hounds. I like that. You know,
Yeah.
obviously, because
Yeah.
there was a little chuckle right there.
Yeah.
And then the other funny part, Tyrion. I've wanted to make tall people jokes for so long.
Yeah, that was good. But
Oh, we didn't even talk about Jaime and Tyrion getting.
in Bronn,
Yeah.
and
That's just obnoxious. I feel like that's unnecessary.
It was a whole nother turn, and then Bronn not getting what he was promised, and
And
Each
I
of his characters is
that was
obnoxious.
yeah.
at this point.
again. So Bronn was just strolling towards the Night King. All the army of the dead was coming, and Bronn is just like trotting on up with
his
his
crossbow, and that was it, nothing else.
I was like, why did they throw this in? Because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
actor's contract had to be a few scenes.
Or did we just want to see that Cersei won? You know, both now, not just Tyrion did, but Jaime did.
Right,
Oh,
so
we
that was-
already assumed that anyway. You know, like.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it solidified that, which again made me have so much trouble watching the scene where Jaime leaves Brienne because he knows his sister wants to kill him. This is not, he's
Yeah,
it's
but
just been.
Maybe we're all going to be doomed. Maybe Jaime doesn't want to go there and be with Cersei. Maybe he wants to kill her.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe he was going to help.
Maybe he wants
Jaime.
that glory.
maybe
I don't know.
There's a lot to anticipate for next episode. It's going to be packed.
Yes.
So
But it's gonna be the best one.
hopefully,
Marks a million
hopefully, a lot of people are gonna go down. So it's, I think,
Do we have a
I
title
think
for
they've
it?
been saving them now. They're not releasing the titles until after the episode
Yeah.
airs. So. I
So
think
there
they
was
won't
a
give
lot
anything
I
away.
liked about this episode, despite I thought the funeral scene was really touching. I liked that. There was some closure.
I was shocked to see England's name at because I noticed that they had it in the
Yeah,
intro, and I
yeah.
was like, wait, what are they gonna do? And then it led right
Yeah.
to the funeral. It was
Yeah.
the first thing you saw, so
Yeah.
made sense.
So that was really his line there.
Yeah.
I know.
So, okay. So we have a lot to look forward to for next week. I think it's going to be action packed. So they kind of took a step back this week, which I think was a little needed after last week.
Yeah.
So join us. I think that'll be the end of this week's discussion.
Will it be the end of the dragons though?
I know.
We'll see.
Yes,
End of the
just
Dragon
2 more
Queen, I think.
episodes.
So join us again next week, Monday, right? Yeah, it'll be Monday,
Monday.
8:30. Thanks, guys.
Bye.